Hello students, in the last video I started with photosynthetic pigments. Among those photosynthetic pigments we studied about chlorophyll pigments, that is chlorophyll A and B, and in this video I am going to explain about carotenoid pigments. So carotenoids. These carotenoids are yellow and orange colored pigments. These are yellow and orange colored pigments. Orange colored pigments, and these are tetraterpenes. Tetraterpenes. Each terpene consists of 10 carbons in it. Each terpene consists of 10 carbons in it. As tetraterpenes, as they are tetraterpenes, 4 terpenes, 10 carbons into 4 carbons. So, in the structure of carotenoids, totally 40 carbons are present. And these tetraterpenes can be open-ended or closed-ended. That means the ends of these terpenes are either open or they can be closed. If the ends of these terpenes are open, they are called as open-ended tetraterpenes. If the ends of these terpenes are closed, they are called as closed-ended tetraterpenes. Okay, and these carotenoids are lipid soluble. These carotenoids are lipid soluble. Okay, these carotenoids are of two types. They are carotenes and xanthophyls. They are carotenes and xanthophyls. Let's make the comparative study of carotenes and xanthophyls. Carotenes are orange colored. These are orange colored, whereas xanthophyls are yellow colored pigments. Yellow colored pigments. These carotenes are completely soluble in carbon disulfide solution. They are completely soluble in carbon disulfide solution. Carbon disulfide solution, whereas xanthophyls are partially soluble in carbon disulfide solution. Partially soluble in carbon disulfide solution. Okay, these carotenes, molecular formula of these carotenes is C40H56. H56, whereas the molecular formula of xanthophyls is C40H56 oxygen 2, that is O2. So here xanthophyls consists of oxygen, whereas in carotenes there is no oxygen. These xanthophyls are also called as oxygenated carotenes or oxygenated carotenoids. Okay, so generally the number of oxygens present in this xanthophylls is 2, but this number can range between 1 to 8. So 1 to 8 oxygens can be present in the xanthophylls, but generally 2 oxygens will be present. Hence, generally the molecular formula of xanthophylls we write it as C40H56 and O2. Next, coming to absorption of different wavelengths of light. So here carotenes can absorb the wavelength of light between 400 to 500 nanometers, whereas xanthophylls can absorb the wavelength of light between 400 to 500 nanometers, but they can absorb below 400 to 500, below 400 and above 500. The wavelength of light above 500, just above 500 nanometers wavelength of light. Okay, examples of these carotenes is beta carotene and lycopene. This lycopene is most abundant in tomato. Most abundant in tomato. Next, coming to xanthophylls. Examples of xanthophylls is lutein and zeaxanthin. This zeaxanthin is present in Z-maize, that is in maize. Zeaxanthin. So this lutein is formed from alpha carotene by the process of hydroxylation. This lutein is formed from alpha carotene by the process of hydroxylation. Whereas zeaxanthin is also formed from beta carotene. It is formed from beta carotene by the same process, that is by hydroxylation. So this is all about carotenes and xanthophyls. Now let's study the functions of these carotenoids. Okay, let's study the functions of carotenoids now. So carotenoids are functioning as accessory pigments. They function as accessory pigments. So what is accessory? Accessory is nothing but assisting, helping. They help chlorophyll A. Let's study how they help. They are involved in helping chlorophyll A. Okay, actually what type of photosynthetic pigments are present in higher plants, that is in thylakoid membranes? Chlorophyll pigments and carotenoid pigments are present. Chlorophyll pigments are chlorophyll A and B, chlorophyll B. Carotenoid pigments are carotenes and xanthophyls. Among all these pigments, only chlorophyll A, all these pigments can absorb different wavelengths of sunlight, but only chlorophyll A can convert that sunlight, radiant form of energy, into chemical form of energy, that is ATP and NADPH. But other pigments except chlorophyll A, other pigments cannot convert this radiant form of energy into chemical energy. And hence the energy, that is sunlight, different wavelengths of sunlight absorbed by different pigments is transferred to chlorophyll A finally. So how they are helping chlorophyll A? They are helping chlorophyll A by broadening the absorption spectrum of chlorophyll A. So actually chlorophyll A absorbs sunlight of blue and red light, sunlight of the blue and red regions of light. But here these carotenoids absorb different regions of light. They absorb different regions of light and supply this absorbed light to, transfer this absorbed light to chlorophyll A. And hence in this way these are broadening the absorption spectrum of chlorophyll A. So they help in broadening the absorption spectrum of chlorophyll A. Chlorophyll A, right. Okay, let's see how they are arranged inside the thylakoid membrane. So all these are pigments. Chlorophyll A is present at the center, which is forming the reaction center. Around this chlorophyll A, other pigments like chlorophyll B, and then carotenes, xanthophyls, all these other pigments are present around this chlorophyll A, which is forming the reaction center. So chlorophyll B, carotenes, xanthophyls, other pigments. So this is carotenes, xanthophyls, all other pigments are present around this chlorophyll A. So by being around this chlorophyll A, what they do is they absorb different wavelength of light and supply that wavelength of light, different regions of sunlight they absorb and supply that sunlight to ultimately to chlorophyll A. And hence the amount of light which is present in chlorophyll A, which is transferred to chlorophyll A, will be broadened, will be more and more, and hence the amount of chemical energy which will be synthesized by chlorophyll A will be more and more. So this is the way how they are involved in functioning as accessory pigments. Okay, next function is these carotenoids also function as shield pigments. Shielding is nothing but protecting. Shield pigments by protecting chlorophyll A from photooxidation. They protect chlorophyll A from photooxidation. Okay. So when the incoming sunlight is with higher light intensity, the activated chlorophyll A, which is forming the reaction center, can undergo oxidation. Oxidation is nothing but breakdown. So when it undergoes oxidation or breakdown, the structure of this chlorophyll A gets destructed. So as this chlorophyll A is present at the center, all these carotenoid pigments, that is carotenes and xanthophyls, which are present around this chlorophyll A, are protecting the chlorophyll A by being around it and prevent photooxidation of this chlorophyll A. So this is about the functions of carotenoids. So in the next video, I will be starting with absorption spectrum and action spectrum. Hope you understood this concept of pigments. Thank you, students.